These are your two choices, and these are your only two choices. There are no other choices, so don't ask me for another choice. You understand?
This is a robbery plea with a 6-year cap, and the state is flat out opposed to probation. With the full range technically up to 20 years, the court's decision comes down to one question: prison now or a high-risk treatment plan under strict supervision.
2023 CR 7583, State versus Monroe Walker. Could I have parties announced?
Brandon Frater, State.
Renee Munoz on behalf of Mr. Monroe Hurd.
All right. And are you Mr. Hurd?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You entered a plea on December 11th to the offense of robbery. According to your plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. The state is opposed to your application. Both parties waived the PSI and TAP evaluation. Are both parties ready to proceed?
State's ready, Judge.
Defense is ready as well, Your Honor.
All right. State, you're opposed. Do you have any witnesses?
Judge, the state has no witnesses.
Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, you may call your witness.
The defense so calls Daniel Uresti, social worker from San Antonio State Hospital.
Mr. Hurd. You're back against the counter, sir.
Hello. Good morning. If you could just make sure you keep your voice up so the court reporter can hear.
Okay.
If you'll raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Daniel Uresti.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Uresti, how are you currently employed?
I'm employed with the San Antonio State Hospital.
Okay. And in what capacity do you work with the San Antonio State Hospital?
I'm a licensed master social worker here at the hospital.
Okay. So to become a licensed master social worker, what kind of education did you have to obtain to get to that position?
I had to get a bachelor's and then a master's degree in social work and get licensed in the state.
Okay. Did you also have to complete a certain number of hours in working with some of the disenfranchised population before you got certified?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you're currently at San Antonio State Hospital for employment, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. What kind of population does the San Antonio State Hospital serve? And what kind of treatment do you guys provide?
We serve both forensic and civil psychiatric or mentally ill patients. We provide services as far as competency restoration. There's different interventions that they provide to help the patients get back into society, basically.
Does that include administering medication?
Yes, they do administer medication at the hospital.
Do they also have group sessions for competency restorations?
They do have a group session for competency.
Okay. And in your capacity as a social worker at the state hospital, did you have any dealings with Mr. Monroe Walker Hurd?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you briefly tell us about your observations while you were working with him as a social worker?
I've been working with Monroe, I guess from the time he came in till the time he left the hospital. You know, he basically was participating in the different groups. He was active with the different teams that were there. He was pretty calm the whole time that he was there. Didn't have any kind of conflict or anything like that. I believe that in my observation, he was successful in becoming competent and then working with him back competent.
Was he, and from the gist of what I believe you're saying, is he was following the rules and regulations of the San Antonio State Hospital, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And as you just stated just right now, to your knowledge, there was no disciplinary issues or aggression or anything like that displayed, is that correct?
No, never during his time there.
In fact, in a report in the San Antonio State Hospital's competency restoration packet, you stated in the said report that he remains calm and cooperative with his treatment, correct?
Right.
Okay. Mhm. Now, furthermore, was Monroe engaged in anything else, any maybe extracurricular things at the state hospital besides his competency restoration and medication management?
Yeah, as far as I can recall, he was active in the unit work program. Those patients are selected by another team. He was also active in different groups like peer support, and I believe he was also in a talent program as well.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the talent show program?
Individuals that are selected for that, they have to be calm, they have to be cooperative, they have to be able to go off the unit and work with other patients and other staff that aren't on the unit.
Would it be safe to say that people selected for that program, the talent show, they're more or less model participants?
I would say so, yes.
And to your knowledge, Mr. Hurd was selected for said program? To participate in the talent show?
Yes.
And he was also selected to also participate in the work unit as well, correct?
That is correct.
So ultimately during your assistance of him as a social worker for Mr. Hurd, you were able to see his progress develop over the time that he was receiving treatment, is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you think if afforded the opportunity of probation, he would be able to follow the rules and regulations as he did within the state hospital?
I would think so.
Okay. And again, he was compliant with taking his medication and engaging in sessions as well, correct?
Yes.
No further questions from this witness, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No, Judge, pass witness.
All right, thank you. Thank you
you.
so much for,
You're
well, I have a couple of questions.
Of course, Your Honor.
Are you still involved in any type of treatment, or do you know any of the type of treatment that Mr. Hurd is going through?
Not anymore. Not since he's discharged from hospital.
All right, okay, thank you so much.
Appreciate
All right, you may call your next witness.
you. The defense has no further witnesses, Your Honor, just the argument.
All right, Mr. Hurd, if you'll come back, please. All right, state your post. What are you asking for?
Judge, we're asking for the cap of 6 years.
All right,
Your Honor, respectfully, we're asking for the opportunity to community supervision probation. Mr. Hurd does have some history. However, he was not afforded the chance of treatment until he had picked up this case and undergone the competency issues. He was sent obviously to the state hospital for more or less a year. Upon him being deemed competent as per the report, Judge Rodriguez was in the magistrate court was very impressed as to his progress, and obviously wanted me to let the DA's office know about his progress. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Vesey gave me a call, and that's how I got connected with him as to the significant progress that he made at the state hospital. Being that he has not been afforded the chance at treatment before, he was merely sent to prison. I believe those courts may have gotten it wrong. Doesn't mean that this court has to as well. He's at a good position now, having undergone treatment, having had access to meds, that he's at a good spring jumping off point to continue that, Your Honor. And we feel strongly that if he's sent to prison, he's going to lose a lot of the progress that he made. In reference to this offense, Your Honor, of the robbery, it's non-aggravated. It's pretty well solidified that no weapon was brandished. It was more so the speaking of requesting of objects that the other person might objectively saw that as being threatening, but no one was hurt or injured or anything of the like, Your Honor. So my client just really wants me to express that his past is not him. He's willing and able to move forward. And looking at the videos in the alleged offense, he was probably about 40 or 50 pounds skinnier than he is now. He was a street person living on the street, using drugs. And this occurred at the CVS down here by the Riverwalk.
The defense leans hard on rehabilitation. A state hospital social worker testifies he stayed calm, followed rules, took meds, and even earned model participant privileges. The message is clear. If he can comply inside a locked facility, maybe he can comply on the outside with structure.
He's asking for a chance at treatment, Your Honor. Respectfully asking if probation is granted, that he understands that he may have to stay in custody for inpatient treatments, or we're thinking maybe of possible felony drug court referral, coordination with Center for Healthcare Services, get him access to med, get him access to services, a possible help with the housing situation. But I think that something new has been entered into the formula in terms of Mr. Hurd. He's gotten the treatment, and we believe that there's going to be a different result. The past cases, he was never afforded the chance at treatment. It's been documented within the state hospital that there's been no other indication that Mr. Hurd had any kind of meaningful treatment at the state hospital, substance use, or any kind of mental health hospital. So it's unfortunate that Mr. Hurd did have to pick up a charge in order for his mental health issues to be brought to light. But now that we're here, Your Honor, we're asking respectfully if we can attempt to break this cycle of just re-incarceration, re-institutionalization, and give Mr. Hurd a chance to live a meaningful and successful life moving forward.
And what is his mental health diagnosis?
His mental health diagnosis is his anxiety, depression, as well as he has substance use disorder, and has had in the past auditory hallucinations associated with schizoaffective disorder. At the time that he entered the hospital, as per the report, he was hearing voices and things of that nature. Since having received treatment, said that those has since gone away, and he's in a much better place now to not be a threat to anybody in the community. Upon the recommendations of the state hospital restoration packet, it's recommending substance use treatments, as well as continued mental health medication and management to address his issues, Judge. And I know that the court is aware of some of his history and the current charge, but I feel that if someone may have taken a stand earlier and gone in here and addressed these substance use issues at the beginning of Mr. Hurd's criminal history, we could have nipped this in the bud and diverted him away from the system. I know increasingly as time goes on, it may be harder to break out of that, but I believe that the social worker with the San Antonio State Hospital sees something in Mr. Hurd in terms of the progress he had been able to make. I see something in Mr. Hurd that I believe he can be successful on probation, given the right tools. But I do think he needs the help of a structured program to address his mental health issues with medication management, as well as substance use issues with, I think they kind of are commingled in a sense, and leading him to, in the past, a life of just living on the street. So we're asking the court to mix it up and to hopefully give him a chance on probation.
All right. Here's the thing. Yes.
So could I make a brief argument to show the state's opposition? Judge, Mr. Hurd was indicted on robbery, but he was also indicted with the habitual enhancement because of two robberies, one that he was convicted on in 1987 and the other one that came from 1992. After that, he was convicted of assault, family violence in 2014, and he was convicted again just 2 years ago of burglary of a vehicle. That, on top of reading the offense report that should be in the state's evidence, he states to the victim, Chloe, and I quote, "Don't press the button or I'll shoot you," while gesturing under his coats, make a gun gesture with his hand like so. Because of that, Judge, because of the violent nature of this, of the offense and the violent history that Mr. Hurd has, I don't think that probation is a justified disposition of this case. The state is opposed and is asking for 6 years TBC.
Your Honor, we're asking respectfully to address the root cause of this issue so that we're foreseeably looking forward past this case, and not just the existence of this case, but his life in general, which he still has a lot to live and to contribute.
So here's my question. Has he been on probation before?
No, Your Honor. I don't believe so. I think he's just been in prison, probation? Yeah, whatever probation.
State, has he ever been on probation?
Along with Judge.
So, and here's the court's other question. This may have already been answered. So at some point in time before his plea on this case, he was deemed to be incompetent,
Correct, Your Honor.
and that was, this offense was committed. Then he was evaluated for competency after this offense.
That's correct, Judge. Yes, this offense from June 13th, 2023. Mr. Hurd has been confined since then, and he was deemed, he had another attorney on his case, Mr. McRae, since went to the fourth court. I was appointed on his matter, but upon him being restored to competency, they sent the packet through and I was appointed at that time. So I did handle his case with Judge Rodriguez down in the basement, and she went over the report. She was quite impressed with the progress. He did participate in the talent show. He was very happy about that and grateful for the opportunity to participate. He practiced and auditioned for 2-3 weeks in advance, and he was able to put on a good show. He had a great time there at the San Antonio State Hospital. So ordinarily, with given some of the background, I would maybe not be making this request, but for the progress he made at the state hospital, Judge Rodriguez's impression that he's come a long way, and my impression that he's also come a long way from where he had started. He had started in 2023, and the court could try just see it fit to grant the probation, maybe give him a chance. If not, he reverts back to the prison setting, but at least he's been given a meaningful chance. His previous cases, he was seemingly just thrown in.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. All right, the state is offering you a cap of 6 years opposed. The range of punishment for this offense is up to 20 years in the prison. That's really the full range of punishment. So your liability for this offense has been capped at 6 years. So what does that mean? That means if I were to convict you and sentence you to probation, your minimum time, the maximum amount of time I could give you if you were to violate the conditions would be 6 years in the prison. If I were to give you deferred adjudication, what that means is if you were to violate it, the maximum amount of time I could give you would be 20 years in the prison. Do you understand? Your attorney has informed the court of your mental health issues. The court notes that in the police report, there wasn't a weapon used. There were threats made that you had a weapon. These are your two choices, and these are your only two choices. There are no other choices, so don't ask me for another choice. You understand? One, I can deny your application, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, or I'll grant your application for deferred adjudication. You will be on deferred adjudication for 8 years, and you're going to start being in custody. You'll be referred to felony drug court. If felony drug court doesn't accept you, then whatever TAP recommendations has, you may be in an inpatient facility for your drug issues, as well as you will be evaluated for the mental health unit. Which do you prefer?
I may, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've explained the situation with my client. I've advised him as to the court being able to, in this instance, grant him deferred, and if he is not successful, what he would be looking at a revocation if he does not follow through with the recommendations of the community supervision department, as well as any treatment recommendations. Mr. Hurd, do you want the opportunity at probation and treatment?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The following evaluations are to be done in custody: the MIC evaluation, TAP evaluation, referral to felony drug court. There is to be, upon release, full GPS, waive fees. I'm sorry, not full GPS. It'll be partial GPS for any medical treatment. And when I say medical treatment, that includes mental health treatment. waive fees. And that's to be until further notice. And probation, I know I'm putting here proof of employment, but we'll approach that. The first thing I want to know is about the evaluation. So there'll be proof of employment 60 days after release and completion of evaluation. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or minors. And probation, that's proof of employment or SSI. There's a $1,000 fine that will be probated. 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 of those hours will be deemed satisfied upon completion of the MRT. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. State, is there any restitution?
None that I know of, Judge.
All right, and there's to be no contact with CVS Pharmacy at 300 East Commerce Street. Probation, is there anything else? Thank you. There's to be regular random UAs. Anything else, probation? All right, and probation, how long do you think it'll take to do the MIC evaluation and TAP evaluation? All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this, can I have a reset date and 6 weeks, please?
And Judge, can we also ask for a no contact with the complaining witness, Miss Chloe Medina?
All right, yes.
Thank you, Judge.
And there'll be no contact with the complainant.
March 5th.
All right, and we're going to come back on March 5th. And defendant is to remain in custody until that date.
Yes, Your Honor. And if we get word back sooner, may we approach the court for a sooner date?
Yes. All right, is there anything else you need from the court? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So I want to let you know, I took into consideration your mental health issues. It was telling to the court that immediately after this incident, you were deemed to be incompetent. And I do note in the court's record that it shows that you were actually sent to the state hospital to restore competency. So in this court, communication is key, and it's going to especially be key to you because you have other issues that are going on with you. You're going to need to make sure you stay in contact with probation. If there's an issue, you need to let probation know. If you're on medications, you need to stay med compliant.
Yes.
If you feel that there's an issue with the medication or there's a side effect, do not quit that cold turkey. I'm not a medical doctor, but you need to speak to your doctor and let them know there are issues with your medication. That GPS, if there's a tamper with that GPS or anything that goes wrong with that GPS, or if it's not charging correctly, you feel it's not charging correctly, you had better call probation and call the GPS officer and say, hey, there's something wrong with my GPS. Because if I get a motion back saying strap tamper, we can't locate you, you know what ends up happening? If everything seems in order and they can't locate you, somebody, either it's going to be me or somebody else, they're going to issue a judge's warrant for your arrest. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Thank you. Thank you, State.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge Boyd makes it brutally simple. 5 years in prison or 8 years deferred adjudication that starts in custody with felony drug court, mental health evaluation, GPS, and zero room for mistakes. He chooses probation, but it's the kind of probation that feels like a sentence.